Hello Internet, Radams here, playing Empire Total War. Now, I know I've played a bit of Empire in the past, and say what you will about Empire, I do believe it is a pretty decent game, and I do like the factional rosters mostly. So here we have another online 1v1 in which I am playing against Poland-Lithuania, but more importantly, I am playing as the Huron Wyandot, one of the Native American tribes. So I figured, can I win with them? So that's what that question will be, what you will be seeing the answer to in this battle. So the thing with the Native American tribes is they really don't have any proper line infantry, and in an extended fight, an extended skirmish against like European and the US line infantry, these guys will always lose. They're untrained, they're low in morale. Yeah. All around not particularly efficient. But they do make up for this in plenty of traits. First up is the strength of Native American cavalry. Pretty much all of it except for lancers, which are pretty bad, they're only good for charging. Ranged, but can fight incredibly well in melee. So, for my army comps, we'll start with my cavalry. 4 units of Ojibwa horse warriors. Probably pronounced that pretty badly, but oh well. So these guys are pretty elite horse archer units. But like I say, they're also very strong in melee, as you will see in this battle them showing their prowess. Also, go over the other unit of cavalry, my chief's bodyguard. So basically just a general's bodyguard. 60 units strong. So it's a pretty sizable general's bodyguard unit. Compare that to my opponent, who won't go over his army comp just yet, but yeah, his general's bodyguard is 32 units. So yeah, cavalry is exceedingly exceedingly good. Yeah, I'll go over next my artillery. And the thing where the Native Americans do fall off is all the Native American tribes only get this one unit of cannons. The artillery. Fixed guns, can't move them. Not the best range. So most of his stuff is out of range at the moment, like they barely reach his deployment zone from their range, where they are right near the front of my deployment zone. So yeah, the reason why I covered my cav and my arty first, this is my opponent on the spot started. That's all he could see. Every other unit of infantry I have, and it is the same for almost all Native American infantry. There is only a few exceptions. The trait stalk, meaning that they can hide and move hidden in grass. Well, in any terrain really. So, my opponent couldn't see any of this if we could see it from his perspective. So as you can see, we'll start off with my musketman here, and yeah, I have 5 units of musketmen, and as you can see, I have got them in a line, and they're not in a real formation. And I'm using these kind of like a European line infantry, which, because of what I was saying about the Native Americans, you generally don't do that with most of their infantry. But these are still going to set up a nice solid ambush. But yeah, so 5 units of these, and as you can see, hidden. And yet, there's nothing for them to be hiding in. Anyway, back to the next unit. Then I also have, in this fight, 4 units of bowmen. So, these are like archers, as you probably imagine from the name. Again, they have stalk, so they're hidden. I have 1 unit over here covering my artillery, because knowing that he can't see where my army is, I was setting up a trap, so I'm going to immediately, as soon as the battle starts, push these muskets forward. And the bowmen, this 1 unit here, along with my cavalry, are going to stay and cover this, so if he tries to go from my artillery thinking it's an easy target, he'll have another thing coming. The other 3 units of bowmen, because I said I had 4, are on my left hand flank, and they're going to move around and set up an ambush on the side. And that's going to be a crucial decider for me. Finally, in my army, I have 4 units of Peyton Wolf Warriors. Pretty elite melee infantry. You know, very solid unit. And again, these also have stalk, so they're all hidden as well. So yeah, that's my army. Like I say, it's all about the ambush tactics here. Go to my opponent. He is bringing, I believe that is 5 units of line infantry, 1 unit of militia, which he's going to use to try and scout me out. He has a total of 2 units of artillery, one of which is his 24-pounder howitzer foot artillery, which he's going to keep back. Well, as I already mentioned, his general's bodyguard. His other unit of artillery is over here, and Empire is like room 2, which is something I've had a rant about before, so you can't actually see it. But hidden in these trees is, I believe it is 6-pounder horse artillery. Next up, he has 4 units of winged hussars. So of course, Poland-Lithuania, they get the elite of European cavalry, the winged hussars. So yeah, this is what I was saying about, you know, you will see the prowess of those Ojibwa horse warriors, because they are going to be fighting these, are going to in melee. I'll say that now. Of course, they're going to use their bows for a bit. Now he also has 2 units of guard grenadiers here, and again, because replay is still having hidden stuff, I can tell you that there are some riflemen. I believe it's 2 units in the tree line here. So I'm going to get us underway at long last. Let's see how it goes. Ah yeah, now we can see his 6-pounder horse artillery. So he's going to take that and move it, because horse artillery is fast, and oh, what was that little bit like? Yeah. So he's going to push up the winged hussars along the hills, you know, covering for his horse artillery. As you can see, my artillery is firing, although the hills are providing cover for his hussars, so I'm not going to be able to get any hits, really, which is a shame. My army, all still hidden whilst moving. You know, I'm walking them so it can stay hidden. But yeah, so they're all moving up. They're going to move a little bit to the side. But yeah, and I think we can now see his rifles. Yeah, 2 units of riflemen. Yeah, so he's pushing his lines up, and he's got his militia, which, he, like I say, is going to use the meat shield and to scout out my hidden forces. But yeah, as you can see, his cavalry is now set up. Getting a few good hits from the artillery there, but he's going straight for it. As you can see, I've kept my horse warriors back, and I've got my bowmen there. So my artillery, it's not that good, so I'm going to use it to set the trap. Bait him in. Because, you know, with the cost of his winged hussars, if I can, like, just trap them here, which I am doing, and he's taking a lot of casualties from my artillery. I would switch to canister if I could, but these only have round. Yeah. So 42 out of 60, so far so good. And now the trap is sprung, my bowmen are firing, my horse warriors are set up, and they're going to start firing as well. And here comes the charge. Actually getting a bit of friendly fire on that charge, but oh well. But I'm actually going to drive off his first unit of winged hussars. So now it's going to bring up a second unit, and I'm just going to charge right at them. Well, I'm going to try and fire some arrows before doing so, but they're going to make way. Their target is my artillery. Now it's bringing a second unit, well, its 3rd unit in, and they're going to take on my horse warriors. Yeah, so I think he's left the artillery, he's trying to fight my my cavalry now. My chief is watching over, but I'm going to pull him out. I don't want to risk him in this fight. Yeah, I have one unit of horse warriors there. My archers have got stuck in melee. I need to pull them back because they're not the best melee combatants. Over here, as you can see, his howitzers are now firing. So he, with his militia, he has seen some of my muskets. Seen 3 units with the militia. But yeah, so I'm gonna open fire on them. See if I can quickly get rid of them, because I don't want them to know the full strength of my army. As for my ambush force of bowmen, they're moving up on the side here. And this is where I really noticed his riflemen. They were only briefly revealed beforehand, and in the battle I hadn't noticed them. But yeah, so they're setting up, although his rifles have seen 2 units of them. So I'm just going to run all of them up, and they're going to charge his line infantry here and try and cut them down. You know, again, it's that ambushed tactics. Yeah, he's still got his horse artillery here, which is earned his guard grenadiers, but yeah. So if we look over his winged hussars, they're taking a lot of casualties. Like, they are actually losing this fight. Now my bowmen have routed, but they are going to rally, and they're actually going to win me this cavalry fight, although it's going to cost me all my cav, I'll tell you that. Yeah, they're going to rally, I'm going to send them back, and they're going to shoot on the rest of the hussars, and they're all going to rout. But yeah, my entire line is now meeting with his line. So here he's going to try and bayonet charge with his line infantry, because, you know, he's seen the numbers advantage that I had. Although his rifles even, its light, have done some significant damage, and now I'm making the surprise move with my wolf warriors. So I've revealed them, and I'm even going to get daring with my chief, who's going to charge in and try and sway the battle here. And yep, those Polish-Lithuanian line infantry have now routed. I'm now trying to re-angle my musketmen over here. I'll go to cavalry fight. Yeah, here with the bowman coming back. And yeah, he's taken some pretty hefty casualties. He's kept his guard grenadiers back for now, and he hasn't really used his artillery as far as I'm aware. But yeah, so now the swarm of my horse warriors and my chief leading really moving in on these riflemen now, doing some pretty significant damage. Here comes the great swarm. So yeah, for me it's all about winning this as quickly as possible. Yeah, the last of my cav has now routed, but my archers are gonna open up, and they're going to go after his exhausted winged hussars. So this one unit here is gonna move up, but I think they're actually going to end up getting dealt with by something else, because I wasn't actually paying attention here in the battle. So yeah, as you can see, I've pushed my chief up, and he's now fighting the enemy general bodyguard, and you know, he's kicking his ass. Yeah, here comes that cavalry charge of his last unit of winged hussars, and now the enemy general has died. Yeah, those winged hussars have made contact, but as you can see, I've wheeled round some of my muskets now. Now my chief is going to go after his artillery, and as you can see, I've got my wolf warriors here that have finished chasing off his rifles. They're coming back. I've got one unit here and one unit that are going to move in, and yet winged hussars who were too depleted, they couldn't take on my unit of musketmen. Yeah, I'm now going to charge straight into his lines with these wolf warriors. But these guys have so much stamina, they've been doing a fair bit of combat and running, and they're still fresh. And if we take these, fresh, 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 yeah, their stamina is amazing. But yeah, I've driven off all his artillery now, well, his howitzers anyway. Yep, now the wolf warriors are in, and they are going to mince these line infantry. Yep, they're already routing. I say it's all about the heavy shock tactics. Taking more of his winged hussars, they're going to try and charge his last remaining unit, very depleted. I think they've just come back from rallying. from routing even. They're gonna charge my musketmen. Musketmen are gonna rout them, but musketmen are gonna get routed by his line infantry. Now my remaining units of muskets are gonna form up and they're gonna try and take on here. Form a square there. Yeah, he formed a square there because I was debating on who to attack with these wolf warriors. He formed a square, so I went after this unit. But they also formed a square, so they can brace with this charge. But they need to really try and beat this unit quickly because look at that. More are coming. Can they hold? Vote now on your phones, except I'm not going to set a vote thing up. But yeah, nah. These guys winning slightly against the square, and now the Great Tide is coming in like a swarm of locusts. So yeah, that's going to immediately cause these guys to rout. They're shaken. The square formation's completely broken now. Wavering. Still wavering. Broken. There we go, like I say. Immediate breaking. With militia, I think we're trying to bring them in and they just routed at the sight of my wolf warriors. So yeah, the wolf warriors get a little bonus of fear as well. Yeah, so I've got my muskets now firing on his guard grenadiers, which he's pulled down, and that's the main unit of line infantry. Just going to charge his grenadiers. I've got my 2 remaining units of bowmen also fighting here. As you can see, he's now trying to set up his horse artillery. Only 6-pounders, but so the range isn't anything special, but you know, he's trying to get what he can out of it. Where's my chief? Over here. So yeah, his militia rallied again, but they're going to come back and they're not going to be able to do much now. Light infantry routing at the site of my wolf warriors. Charged his grenadiers into melee. Rout my musketmen. That one unit there. These are going to fight. They're actually, because these guys are good at melee, they are going to be able to hold just long enough for the wolf warriors to once again come and clean this up. So this is really what's winning me this fight right now for wolf warriors. Like, he hasn't been able to deal with them. Like, he's been unable to skirmish them. So that's what you need to do against some of these Native American melee infantry, because they are just so good at melee. You need to get them at range, especially since these guys don't have tomahawks. Some will be able to use tomahawks as a kind of ranged weapon. Ah yeah, so here I've charged my chief into the artillery unit, but who used canister, and as you can see, he got a very strong hit over here as they were moving in. I was trying to move around and then they fired off. So as soon as they fired, I thought, right, just charge straight at them while they reload, but they were able to reload and fire off a few more rounds. So I actually managed to kill off enough of these guys so they would end up routing before they really did any extensive damage to his crews. So yeah, only 3 of the crew dead. Over here we have some rallied line infantry. Got up here, guard grenadiers getting chased off by wolf warriors. Once again, his militia are back, but yeah, some muskets are now just fighting off his line infantry. They're gonna rout. Oh, we got here more muskets giving support. More muskets here. Where are my bowmen? Yeah, he's trying to just pull his militia out now. I know I've got bowmen left somewhere. I have no idea where they are though. I'm sure I've got some left, or they might have routed now actually. I don't know. Yeah, his militia are gonna rout again. Getting shot at by these muskets. You know, there's just so many guys. So yeah, I was trying to get these guys to spread out, but as soon as you gave an attack order, they'd ignore formation. So they're gonna move in pretty clumped up, but yeah. it's not looking good for the crews. They're wavering, and yeah, there we go. They've seen what's coming their way, and they're gonna just say no, lol, no. They're gonna rout, and that's gonna be the end of the battle. So yeah, in answer to the question, yes, I can win as the Native American tribes. But yeah, so strangely, he actually deployed more men than me, but you know, he lost a lot more. 1,350 to my 985. But you know, the deployment differences were so minimal, like you couldn't even notice. But yeah, so a pretty solid victory for me there. Artillery getting a fair few kills against his cavalry. Chief's bodyguard really racking up kills. You would never see like a general's bodyguard be able to get that many kills. And although my general did rout, my general himself, or chief, didn't actually die, so that were useful. But yeah, my horse warriors, not getting particularly large numbers of kills, but they only really fought the winged hussars with common units of, I believe it was 60. So yeah, can't expect huge amounts, but you know, they put up a damn good fight against them. Wolf warriors, obviously this is really the winning thing, so 78, 56, 99, 64. So yeah, those two units there, the 78 and 99, they were the real doers. 56 and 64, it's alright kills. Yeah, the muskets really making up the main line, getting plenty of kills, but it's also worth mentioning the wolf warriors have the fear effect as well, so people rout quicker against them. Yeah, muskets really putting in a lot of work, but they were my main line essentially. Bowmen, they didn't do that well, but they were an ambush force, so I believe it was this unit here, which was the artillery shrap unit, getting 45 kills, so yep, doing quite well. I might be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure it was the unit that I had in defence. The other three, the ambush force. Thanks for watching, my name's been Rodhams97, don't forget to subscribe. Become a Celtic warrior.